Professional fighter, entrepreneur, and self-made millionaire Andrew Tate. Men seem to love him, but women seem to hate him. But why? If you're willing to understand that industries like this are rude intentionally and obnoxious on purpose just to grab your attention, proceed. This is not an Andrew Tate video. It is an Andrew Tate sort of centered video, but it's more of a video to understand why men think the way we think and why we do what we do. There's always a left and a right, and people are always going to make you want to pick between the two. There is no in between. You can only pick one. It's either yes, it's either no. It's either left, it's either right. There is no in between. But I'm gonna create a new category. Is that okay? Is that okay if I create a new category where I can see that there is some positives between the both and there is some negatives between the both, and I'm allowed to pick in the middle, or am I only allowed one side? Let's get something very, very straight. Andrew Tate makes sexist remarks.
I am absolutely sexist and I'm absolutely a misogynist.
Some things Andrew Tate says will make him sound like an outright cunt. And you're not wrong. If you're wondering why your boyfriend's always scrolling on TikTok and then behind your back when you look around, all you hear is breathe air. Understand that a lot of men have this indesirable, undescribable want for meaning. And it's these same men who indulge in videos and people like...
The level of complaining is unacceptable.
But the young men really need to hear this more, I think, is that you should be a monster.
Fucking set goals, we have to achieve them. We have to fucking do things to give our brain stimulation, to give ourselves happiness, because that is the point in life. Look, what if I told you this was the last Monday morning of your life?
And it is these same men who just share inspiring, cringy gym updates.
I love that you have such high standards. But those aren't high standards, that's called perfection.
It is also these same men who fill up the stages of the Tony Robbins seminars.
You got a lot to give. I can fucking feel it.
We want meaning, we want to be the best versions of ourselves, and we want to exit the matrix. We want something worth doing in life.
Don't let your dreams be dreams.
If someone can help us find our direction to that path, we'll support them. And I know what you're thinking. This guy?
Yeah. What's up, bitch?
There's so many better people to support, but I'm getting to that. Most men seek meaning. We like doing what we're told is impossible. You could argue that this is not the best man to watch for motivation. I mean, there's so many out there that do it with a better perspective on just everything in general. In a way that's not going to offend you, but in the nicest way possible because you need to be offended. Fuck your views. These days we're so concerned with what fits and what doesn't, what you can say and what you can't say around people, and don't say that, you can't say that around here. Most of you have extremely fucked up thoughts on a daily basis.
What the fuck? Did I just say Bailey Daces? What the fuck?
But you don't care to admit that because you know how people will perceive you. You hide because you know people will judge you. It's so hard on the brain to conceal who you truly are. And it is a detriment to your mental health. I'm not saying in this extreme, because this is wild. Some of the things he says is wild.
Piss off. If you feel depressed, you go to the gym.
What the dog doing?
But this person is not afraid to say what is on his mind and what he feels like he needs to say, even if it is a lot of it fucked up. People have the opportunity, but most people don't have, I want to say, the guts to express themselves just as they are. We're too afraid with what fits and what doesn't fit. I don't know what I'm doing with my hand right now. And if you're watching this and you're getting pissed off, good. That's okay. That's your opinion just as mine is my own. I mean, me talking right now ultimately means nothing. All I'm doing is writing the YouTube algorithms stick to views by using Andrew Tate's name. This is what we like and this is what we take seriously.
Why are you on this podcast asking me how to stop procrastinating? Turn off YouTube! Go do something!
You feel depressed, and that is a natural biological evolutionary trigger for you to change something in your life.
You know the answer is to stop doing things that waste your time and apply yourself to something important.
Where motivation isn't real. Everyone says this. Motivation's not real, discipline's real. I do not feel like training, but I still train because I'm a disciplined individual. You don't get to go through life only doing the things you feel like doing.
On a core level, I'm so self-conscious about making YouTube videos. I am so scared about what people will say. But it's things like this that makes me want to get off my lazy ass, grab out the camera, and just start talking and just start being the best version of myself, just getting into it. It makes me want to go to the gym. It makes me want to go for a run or a walk. It just makes me want to be something and do something special.
The reason 18 and 19-year-olds are more attractive than 25-year-olds is because they've been through less dick. I'll say this right here on the fucking internet. I don't give a shit. People will sit there and go, oh, you can't say that. Yes, I can. A 19-year-old is more attractive than a 26-year-old woman, and I'll tell you why. Because that 26-year-old has talked to more guys, been to the club more times, been more places, been fucked and dumped more times, more arguments, more heartbreak, more bullshit, more mess for me to clean up. Whereas a 19-year-old might have had one guy from high school, just broke up, she's fresh.
FBI, open up!
Now this is fucked up. I understand what he's saying because don't even lie, all guys think about it. It's a fucked up way to think. It's not for me, it may be for him. It's not a right way of thinking, but he's not wrong. If that makes sense. We all think about this. Whether you like to admit it or not, it does cross your mind sometimes here and there. It's a fucked up thought, but we don't share it because we're too scared about what people will think. And here's the kicker. Here's the best part about this. It's all entertainment. At the end of the day, it literally means nothing. It's all for your entertainment. Everything he says is possibly or possibly not a part of his facade that he creates to grab your attention, pull you in, and make you watch his videos, to create him money, to jump into his pyramid scheme, to make him even more money. It's all a part of the game. It's a genius marketing persona. It's an offensive one, but it's a genius one. I don't believe everything he says is true. I don't believe everything he says is fully he believes in it himself. I believe that he's just saying it for the sake of saying bullshit, because these days people love to talk about bullshit. And the more you argue about his point, and the more you agree with his point, the more you're giving him points. The more you're feeding into his persona, his bullshit, and just giving him views. And that's exactly what he wants. So by doing this, we're just winning, aren't we? At the end of the day, it's entertainment. You have to understand how literally dumb boys are. We are so fucking dumb. We are so intelligent, yet so fucking dumb. We will make a joke about jacking off our best friends while they're in the room. They will respond by saying a joke about they'll jack us off too, and yet it's the funniest shit we've ever heard. We'll play it off and laugh it off and then act like nothing ever happened. His content is the dumbest yet the smartest shit I've ever seen in my life, and it makes me want to be something. We're all depressed. We're all anxious. Everyone's going through it at the same time. But we don't realize it. We don't realize that we have more in common with each other than we think. And it is people like these that we watch that make us understand that we all have a closer connection than we think. It makes us feel like that we're not that alone and there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Maybe somewhere in the darkness, all our hopes and dreams are achievable. If people like this can do what they need to do, then maybe it's our time. Maybe we're next. Like I said, I'm in a middle ground. I'm not a yes and I'm not a no, I'm not a for and I'm not. He says things to provoke people, all in attention for views and clout and just advertising his brand. The more you share, the more awareness he gets. Again, I'm in the middle. Would I say Tate influences me? 100%. And not in the way that girls would like to think. You would like to think that I'm gonna be a misogynistic, sexist piece of shit who just wants to treat women badly after watching all his videos, wouldn't you? But that's not the case. That's not why we watch him. Yes, things he says are funny and they're obnoxious and they're entertaining in a way. But that's not why we watch him. Does Tate influence me? Yes, he does. I'm here right now, aren't I? I'm here on this video, on this camera, embarrassing myself, putting myself up for public display for everyone just to tell me no in the comments, for everyone to write their opinion. I'm here trying to be a better me, aren't I? Trying to express myself openly and freely, and just trying to be myself for once in my life, you know? Shh, you can't say that. Shh, it's going to offend this person, because fuck that. Should you stop the pursuit of anything purely on someone else's opinion? I don't think so. Everyone in your whole life is going to throw opinions at you and say what you can and cannot be. It's going to be your parents. It's going to be your closest friends. It's going to be people you don't even know. Should you stop doing anything purely because of one person's opinion or 1,000 people's opinion? No. It's the same way. It's the same way as any 2020s rapper would rap out the hottest lyrics, banging some chick. But you're not going to use that and internalize that and actually take that seriously, are you? You're just going to use it for motivation. You're just going to use it to rep out that next set, go to the gym, or just be yourself. You're just gonna use it for motivation. You're gonna use that song to push you to your potential. And if you listen to a song that you just feel in your core and you know every single word, you know exactly what I mean. But am I gonna do anything in the song? Fuck no. All I'm gonna do is use that art, I would call it art, is use that art for motivation. At the end of the day, whether you like it or not, it's just a phase. Every TikTok is a phase. Liza Koshy was a phase.
Yo, what's up? It's your girl Liza.
David Dobrik was a phase. Dan Brazilian was a phase. The Nene was a phase. Who's that rapper with glaucoma?
I was born with glaucoma.
Cardi B was a phase. Lil Pump was a phase. Your favorite toys you used to play with when you were little, and you think about every once a month maybe, and then you don't actually think about it, like it just leaves your brain after that, but it keeps coming back. That was just a phase. Everything in your life is a phase, and it doesn't last forever. I got a little sidetracked there, but anyways, as I was saying, it's just a phase. It's entertainment in its phase, and it's gonna end. So it doesn't mean much. I mean, people mold their personality and opinions through written script and dialogue, just as I'm doing now. I may be trying to persuade your opinion or just express mine, keep you on the right track, take you off. I'm doing it through scripted dialogue, video, possibly music. I don't know if I'm gonna use it or not. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. And other input and other videos and things like that. It's temporary, it's fake, it's entertainment. I'm showing you what I want you to see. Because that's what I'm doing. That's what everyone does in this world anymore. Everyone just shows people what they want them to see. The topic is either really left or really right, and I understand why people would be either for or against them. There's amazing points to both, there's great points to both. I can't even have an opinion these days without getting cancelled. I mean, I know people are gonna try and cancel me in the comments, but then for everyone trying to cancel me, there's gonna be so many people agreeing with me as well. So, this is just my opinion. You take it as you want. But I just want you to understand from the perspective, I'm not up myself. I'm not gonna talk up myself and say I'm this amazing guy. I'm really not. But from the perspective of someone who's just trying to live and just trying to get over anxiety and depression and just trying to move on from whatever's holding him back. I take his words seriously. A lot of them I do. All the good parts, and I think they're the parts that you know about. The parts that I'm specifically pointing out, motivational parts. I take that to heart, because if people like that can do it and make it in this world, so can I. Again, the parts that he talks about, and those parts, I'm not going to skip over that, but I'm not going to skip over that. They are really rude, they are insensitive to a woman's feelings. You shouldn't just say fuck your feelings to everything. There should be a middle ground where you should say, hey, stop, let's think about this. I think at the end, I think that he's doing what's best for him, and it is really working in his favor. Because although he's having all these haters, he's having all these people supporting him as well, making all this money, doing all this shit with his life, things that he just wants to do. Fuck, I'm gonna get cancelled. As you can tell, I'm just trying to make a middle ground right now, and I'm just trying to not get cancelled as much as possible, because I want this video to do well. I haven't made a video in a while, and I just wanted to express what's on my chest. But, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna get cancelled either way.
That's all.
Bitch!